All right, let's talk about trades. Who could be available at the deadline? Why not to be too excited about it? I saw a post on X, and it got amplified on Reddit by one of the Fireside kids. I think it was Ryan Garcia. And he said that waiting for Stroman's money to come off the books before you make any moves is quote-unquote irresponsible and conflicts with the Yankees' desire to contend and is anti-Yankee. I found that to be a little bit ignorant of the underlying circumstances with the Yankees and with Major League Baseball. Who is out there that's available that's a 4-5 win infielder at this point? Who? The Cardinals are flat out not trading Brendan Donovan. He's part of the youth movement over there. Even if Ryan McMahon was available from the Rockies, not sure if he's a 4-5 win player. And also, the Rockies just proved it again today with Charlie Blackmon. They find guys they like and they keep them in the organization. That's what they do. And they are not interested in moving him. And also, another thing about people who live in Colorado, I know a few people who live out there. They love it, right? It's beautiful. The summers aren't too bad. The winters get cold, but if you're into skiing or whatever, your family's into skiing, it's like paradise. I do think the Yankees will trade Marcus Stroman eventually. I think it will happen in spring training. Every year, and that's assuming that nobody gets injured on the Yankees, which is quite possible. Then you might need them to step up. Every year, at least a few big-name pitchers go down around the league. And at that point, teams get desperate. But don't count on getting anything of value for him other than salary relief. And clearly, the Yankees aren't trying to sign Alex Bregman. They're not trying to get Nolan Arenado, or it would be done by now. The roster basically is what it is at this point. I'll put up the depth chart. And I'd be willing to bet dollars to donuts that one of the infielders will be either Oswald Peraza or Oswaldo Cabrera or DJ LeMahieu. I'd be willing to bet. The Yankees seem to be intent on getting under that Steve Cohen tax, just over $300 million. And I don't expect them to go out and take on major money from anywhere. I just don't think they're going to do it. I know that sounds irresponsible to some, but I'd argue it's more irresponsible to hand out bad contracts, which they're still trying to pay off the Aaron Hicks contract, like I mentioned. Donaldson, bad contract. For once, I think they're taking a step back and they're saying, all right, let's see what we got in-house. I think they're going to do that. And then, if it doesn't work out, maybe you can go out and get a third baseman or a second baseman, however you decide to do it. But I just don't see him handing out another big contract right now. I do think that ultimately Tim Hill will find his way back to the Yankees. It makes sense from a baseball standpoint. He was, good with them. The Yankees were better with him. And he costs very little compared to some of the other moves the Yankees could make. Basically 2 nights worth of chicken buckets in Section 420. That's what it costs to get Tim Hill. Maybe they get some other lefty relief pitcher, somebody who's a journeyman, maybe like a Michael Tonkin type. I know he was right-handed, but like someone of that ilk. And if you're thinking, well, fine, maybe we'll just wait for the trade deadline. I don't think that we're going to pick up anything major in July for a couple of reasons. One, the main guys who are available this year are not guys who align very much with the Yankees' needs. They're not going to go out and trade for Vladdy Jr. They've just signed Paul Goldschmidt. Now, if Goldschmidt gets hurt, maybe, but I still don't think the Yankees will ante up. And even if they did, I don't think they have the farm system to go out and get him. And I think Vladdy's going to follow Juan Soto to the Mets. They're obviously being very trepidatious with signing Pete Alonso, and I think they're going to leave that first base spot open so they can go get Vladdy either at the deadline or in free agency. Kyle Tucker could be available if the Cubs fall out of it, but if that happens, something major has gone wrong, and one of the outfielders has gotten hurt. Or Paul Goldschmidt has gotten hurt and you had to move Bellinger to first base. But even if he does become available, he's going to require a decent trade package. For a 2-month rental, I don't know. And, we'll discuss this in a minute, but the farm system is kind of barren. I don't know you got the chips right now without trading a Dominguez or a Luis Gil. Zach Gallen could be available from the D-backs. But again, if the Yankees are swimming in that end of the pool, something has gone horribly wrong because we're supposed to have one of the top rotations in baseball. Bo Bichette could be available. I don't see him going to the Yankees. The Blue Jays are going to be in no rush to help out a rival. Excuse me. Framber Valdez could be available. Same thing applies with him that applied with the other starting pitchers. If the Yankees are looking at starting pitching, they've got a problem. Dylan Cease, Michael King, both available right now, according to Ken Rosenthal. Not sure what the Padres are doing. Maybe they just decided to mail it in after seeing what the Dodgers have done this offseason. They said, you know what, the heck with it. But the outlook for major upgrades from outside the organization don't seem promising this year. This is not going to be a year where I make a ton of money off of trade videos. I'm just not going to be doing them because there's not going to be a lot out there. The team that you just saw on the depth chart is the team that's got to go out there and get it done. I think if they stay healthy, they can. But they're going to have to win with what they've got.